Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Vance Williams out of a very dark Seattle here this morning. It's only about 5:30 in the morning around here. Welcome to my morning show. Happy to be here this morning. Just wanted to show you guys real quick. I'm having a little issue with links, but I wanted to show you when you're watching the video, and Google's still working these bugs out. But when you play, you'll notice a link right here, be part of the conversation. When you click in on that, it actually takes you into an area where you'll be able to participate more in what I'm doing. So it's just a link right there. So keep that in mind. Okay. Be sure and go to twitter.com and sign up to get my notifications. I'm no longer emailing about shows. I increased the shows. I doubled them to 4 times a week, and I stopped emailing about them. So go to Twitter, and you'll get a note, 2 to 5 minutes before. I basically just send out a tweet a few minutes before I do the show. So it's reliable. You'll hear about it. You can set it to be notified on your phone, that sort of thing. My goal here is to give you valuable information that really helps you to get a feel for what's going on in the market, both with fundamentals and price. All right, so let's talk a little bit about fundamentals this morning. Fundamentals, for those of you who are newer, that just means news. Fundamentals are what is the news that's contributing to the overall narrative, the story that basically traders are buying into. Right now, the U.S. dollar is the story. It has the confidence in the market, and for all kinds of reasons we've been talking about for the last few weeks. Things like interest rate differentials, Eurozone, no sign of any raising interest rates in the future. Quantitative easing, printing money, and then on the flip side, you've got the U.S. dollar who is talking about raising interest rates in 2015, which would create a lot of opportunity. And also, that was followed up with, unemployment rates dropping below 6% for the first time in years. And then also 40,000 more jobs than were expected last Friday. So U.S. dollar is just looking very, very good right now. Okay, let me turn my background music off, sound off. By the way, I sent out a tweet. I'm gonna be talking about how to trade in the zone, and what that means to me. Being in the zone is about be in the optimal place with your mind and your thoughts and being ready to make good decisions. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that after I go over price. Okay, let's look at price. Looking at these charts, you can see your pound and your euro. This is 30-minute. You see they dropped significantly on Friday on the release of non-farm. I think probably the most significant for me is looking at this pound chart. This pound trend is 250 pips. Now, it's in a position to go bigger, no doubt about it. But when you have a big event like non-farm, we usually need. I think I've got. Hang on just a second. I've got some background noise. Let me figure out where it's coming from. Okay, I got it. Must have had a video up running. Anyway, let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about the dust settling. When there's a big event, just think of it like a party. A bunch of people showed up. There's garbage everywhere. Somebody needs to clean up. They're all partied out. They don't want to party anymore. That's a little extreme, but it's non-farm. Usually following non-farm, there's kind of a feeling like that. There was just a lot of energy expended, more than usual, and now we've just got to kind of wait for the dust to settle. So some traders will be looking for exhaustion on this euro move up. Some will be looking to just reposition again. And I think you're seeing, if you look at my mouse, you're seeing a little bit of that right now. I'll take a little closer look at that in just a moment. But always remember that Monday is, traders step into the week slowly. They're, it's pretty much used to set the stage for the week ahead. Just imagine people rolling into work after their weekend. They're talking about their weekend. They're working on getting a handle. What do you think's up with the Fed and what have you? They're just kind of getting a feel for it. And that's the way Monday usually is. That's not always like that, but it usually is. And we've got to make our decisions based upon the usual behavior that we see. So keep in mind that it is Monday. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this price. I was obviously see when non-farm was released, it came through this prior advance level, which was also pretty strong right here and really shot down nicely here. If I was to zoom in on that, let's drop down to a 5-minute chart and see what kind of behavior that we had. Keep in mind that when you've got a lot of rapid movement, it's going to be very difficult for you to get the price that you want if you're trading with 90% of the retail forex brokers. The broker's just not comfortable quoting prices when it can move 20 or 30 pips in a couple of seconds. And so it's going to be, you might go to put a, you might see this dropping down right here and go to put a trade on and find out that the price you got is actually down here, even though the price is still up here. And so, I would highly encourage you guys to, make sure that your broker's allowing the platform to trade the way it trades live. You can check with other traders to make sure that's the case. But most of them do. Most of them execute just like the live account. And just look and practice on a demo and see that you just can't get the price that you want. Now with some ECNs and other interbank fees, which require bigger deposits, usually you can probably get the prices you want, but you're not going to get it with retail brokers. So remember that. So coming down here, the euro is the key level. I think is about 25. It's 2,500. That's the key level, and so that's holding right now. And we've had a good correction at that level. That's just a really solid number. It's not your typical 00 number. 1,2,500 is a really important number. It's a 500, and so let's take a look at how far that's corrected right now. I'm going to go from the start of this move right here, and we're going to see this is right just a little bit over. If I was to move that up a little bit, it'd probably end up around 50%. But right here, it's nicely corrected. Now, the other thing I want to look at here is I want to look to see how strong this move is up here. So I'm looking at the waves. Here's a strong wave. Here's a second push. Here's a very, very choppy wave. Here's another wave, and then what we see here is this thing running out of gas and starting to reverse these new waves. So we can conclude there is now exhaustion on this move up. So a lot of traders will start to reposition on their sell positions. Our team tends to trade clear intraday moves, a little bit more than that, but clear intraday moves just because of the environment we've been trading in for years. We don't trust the long term quite as much as we could, but there's definitely a long term trend down right now. And what we would be watching for is we'd be watching for any of that dialogue to change, any negative news out of the U.S., any difference between what the Fed here in the U.S. versus the central bankers in the U.K. versus the central bankers in the Eurozone. So right now, none of that dialogue's changing. So we're still strong to the downside. Let's take a quick look at the pound. Oh, by the way, on the euro here, me personally, I'd like to see, now that this is fully corrected, I'd like to see this this trend advance. But it's quite a move. Let's see how far it's got to go to get there. It's got to go about 60 pips. So again, some people will say, well, I don't like that, waiting. Well, just remember, you're in the context of a really big move that happened, and you got to let the dust settle a little bit. Okay, going over the pound, I want to take a closer look at this. What we see on the pound is a little bit different. When traders are very bearish, for example, trading the euro, the pound, currently like they are in sell positions, it either has to correct up or it has to consolidate. And so call it consolidation, like you see here, where it's going sideways, taking profits, adding positions, taking profits. When you see that, what's happening is usually the bears are gaining energy to make another push down. That's what consolidation is versus it's just sideways. So there's a little bit of consolidation going on here. It could make a further move up, no doubt about it. There is exhaustion on this move down. Don't be confused by all these black candles like, oh, wow, it's just so much selling. No, there was pushes and pullbacks and pushes and pullbacks all the way through here. And then it stalled right here, just below 16,000. So right now, the dollar is bullish. These pound and euro are bearish across the board. And, do these guys have enough strength to push down below here? We'll see. And we'll see if they want to do it on a Monday. But, just wait for your setup. Have your setup defined, what it is that you're looking for, and then wait for it to unfold. And if you can, follow the things that we print and the shows here, so you'll keep up with the story that's on people's minds. Is it going to be an early winter this year? There'll be a certain amount of evidence that comes along and says, oh, we're going to have an extra cold winter, or it's going to be an early winter. That discussion will happen. This is the type of story that you want to be following to give you more confidence in your trading. All right, so now I want to switch to talking about trading in the zone. And by the way, look for the pound to shoot below here, 59.56, or above 60.48. Okay, trading in the zone. What does that mean? It means that you have your head in the optimal place for making decisions. You're informed, you're focused, you feel confident about what you're doing. That's the way you want to be when you trade. When I was a competing athlete, one of the things that I learned is that I had to be mentally my best when it was time to compete. So trading in the zone means that I'm fully present. I'm in tune with the market, that story that I'm talking about. There's really nothing else on my mind. I know where price has been, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. So how do you get yourself into this mindset? You don't really have to look any farther than, just think about a baseball player coming up to the plate to hit the bat. Even before they get to the plate, they warm up on deck over by the cages. They might swing 2 or 3 bats, looking up at the sky, looking out the field. When it's time to walk onto the field, each has their own ritual. They might like to look at the pitcher on the walk, look to the outfield, visualize their outcome, watch how they approach the plate. They might circle it. They might kick the place where they're putting their feet. They might tap the bat on the plate. Maybe take a couple of short practice swings. They might even spit, but just watch them. It doesn't matter what they do. What matters is that they perform this little ritual every time. And I did the same thing when I was competing in sports. And, if you watch, any player, like say, for example, a quarterback, Russell Wilson, he walks quietly around the field for a long time. He just goes through this routine. He's the quarterback for the Seahawks, by the way. But when you have a routine, it's the best way to train your brain to focus on a task and get to a place where you're in peak performance mode. So you should really think about a routine. You probably already have one to some extent, but thinking about it will help a lot. I always make a cup of coffee. I get the grinder. My brain hears the sounds, the coffee grinder, and all the things that go along with that. I usually come down, I flip things on, I turn on smooth jazz while the coffee's brewing. I click on one of the financial network channels. I've got that going on in the background. I'm looking around on the internet. What are traders talking about? Is there anything significant that developed? Then I open the charts and I go back to the last point in time I was at the market, and I go over every potential setup and the conditions that occurred while I was away. Now, when I'm done with this, which doesn't take a great deal of time, I'm totally caught up on what's happening and what happened while I was gone. And I also take notes of anything else that's on my mind. Like, for example, don't forget to mow the lawn, or whatever's on my mind. I get it off somewhere on a piece of paper, because I don't want that thought pulling at me. Go, hey, remember to mow the lawn. If I put it on the paper, my mind goes, okay, he's got it on the list. So it's not bothering me. You have a place for it. So my suggestion is really think about a routine that's simple and that will help you get in the right mindset and prepare you to trade. So this will really help you out a lot in your trading, and give yourself a little time. Just practice doing this routine over and over again. It's Monday. There's not a great deal to talk about, but I thought I'd share that with you. Just a heads up, we have not offered our training to any members for the last couple of months. That will be coming very, very soon. So write to me if you'd like to learn more. It's a very affordable program at this point. That's going to be changing in the next couple of weeks. So I hope you came away with just one idea that can help you this morning. You guys have a great day, and to our members, I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes in our live trading room. Cheers, everyone.